Dani Genso Ye Genso Gebe Zonam Dola Benjire Sangi Drupara Shu Sangi Chedan Tsage Chonam Chanju Pardo Dani Genso Chi Dagi Genso Gebe Zonam Ye Dola Benjire Sangi Drupara Shu Sangi Chedan Tsage Chonam La Chanju Pardo Dani Genso Da ye zhen so ye be zon nam ge zho la ben jie san ge zhou ba ra shu no sa xin bu ye zhou ji me no da mo ji ra ma li ai
Cả nhà dâng tượng Phật lên đi.
Guru Rana Mendala Gamni Yandara Yai Okay. We have Mr. Chung.
Good morning, Rinpoche. I'm here, Rinpoche.
Oh, hi. Good morning.
Yeah.
Hi, I didn't see you. Hi. Good morning, everyone. Okay.
Yeah, Rinpoche.
Yes. Yeah. Just a minute, please. Okay. 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 Hello. Good morning, Tashitele, Xin Chao.
Yeah, Asidele Rinpoche.
Yeah, Tashitele. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we will be reading. So verse number 54. Oh yeah. So the basic topic of verse number 54 is something called the four mindfulnesses. The full name, the complete name is the four close mindfulnesses. Yeah. So this is what we are going to discuss in today's class. The four mindfulnesses or four close mindfulnesses. So close here means like close as in nearby, close to you. We have this term, very popular all over the world. That the term is known as mindfulness. And so the full name for this practice is called close mindfulness. But then it was shortened to just mindfulness. So when you shorten the name, then it's easier for people to catch, to remember. And then that's how the practice become very popular all over the world. So we will be discussing mindfulness or the four close mindfulnesses. Yeah. So the mindfulness, the term itself, be as the name suggests itself, being mindful, being aware, being conscious of what's happening around you. What's happening around you does not only mean like an external world, like how is the weather, how many people are around you, not just that, but like what's happening around you internally, or to put it more precisely, what's happening within you. So all this evolution or all these developments that's taking place, all these changes, that is things that are evolving, being aware of all these things. So that is being mindful. So in more, because mindfulness is very popular all over the world, so it's now considered similar to yoga. So mindfulness is not even considered religious in today, in many part of the world. So in places where Buddhism is restricted, you can still practice, you can still follow mindfulness, just like you can practice yoga, because a lot of time people see yoga as exercise for the body and mindfulness as an exercise for the mind. And so one of the popular terms for mindfulness is to be in the present moment. Yeah, to keep in the present, to be in the present. To be in the present means we are always we are always drawn towards what's happened in the past or what's going to happen in the future. So there is a fear and there is a regret.
Yeah.
Taking over our mind. Yeah. So to be mindful is to free the mind from these two, the past and the future, and to live in the present. That is to be mindful. Yeah. So the four mindfulnesses is known as the mindfulness of the body, mindfulness of the feeling or emotions, mindfulness of the mind, and the mindfulness of phenomena. So these are the four mindfulnesses. Is it better now?
Yeah, we can see you now.
Okay. 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 So the four mindfulnesses, the mindfulness of the body, the emotion, the mind, and the phenomena. So mindfulness of the body basically, so it's very it's self-evident. So the mindfulness of the body means to be aware of. So body is a reference to the physical thing. Body is physical and mind is non-physical. So therefore, mindfulness of the body does not mean what's happening with my hand, my feet. That not just that, but everything that is physically connected to you. So all this is to be aware, to be mindful, to observe the evolution of the body or physical things around you. So that is the mindfulness of the body. In Tibetan, the word mindfulness and memory are it's both, they both use the same term, temba. So temba means to remember or recall. It also means to be mindful. It sort of has a double meaning or double connotation, double meaning too. So therefore, when you say because so it is sometimes misleading in some of the Tibetan text because when you reflect on the past, when you're not in the present moment, when you are thinking about something in the past, you are actually doing a tempa or you are doing a tempa, but that tempa is actually memory, not a mindfulness, right? So sometimes you may come across such text. But in any case, here the tempa or is reference to being mindful, being mindful of what's happening. So what's happening means what's going on in this present moment. So that is to be mindful of the present moment. But it does not necessarily mean that to be mindful, right? So we were told that to be mindful is to be in the present moment. So mm, so does that mean we have to be just think on just observe on what you are thinking right now and only about that one, nothing else. And whatever other thoughts come, just remove them, eliminate them, get rid of them. Is that how you approach mindfulness? No, that's not how you approach mindfulness. Mindfulness is not about removing all the past and future thoughts and reflecting only on what's happening right now. That is not the case. I mean, I know in most of the mindfulness classes, this is what is being taught. And as I said earlier, it's a simplification of the mindfulness meditation in order to, how to say, appeal to a more wider audience. Just like yoga is also being, how to say, uh, stripped from its sort of core ideals to to appeal to a wider audience. So mindfulness is also has been, how to say, stripped from its many of its essential, um, how to say, essential techniques, so that it caters to a wider audience. Yeah. So personally, I have nothing against this. There is nothing wrong in making any practices available to a wider audience, so that it benefits more people, right? If you call it Buddhist practice and so make it put in all the restriction on the different techniques and all this, then it becomes helpful for only a handful of audience or students. But by this way, not by not calling it a Buddhist practice, even though it comes from Buddhist tradition and sources, but by not calling it that way, then it becomes very popular. Yeah, the mindfulness practice. Because mindfulness practice is a form of meditation, and meditation is not something unique to Buddhism alone. Hinduism has that, Christianity has that, Greek, in ancient Greece, they also have meditation. And it's not just that. I think all over the world, different tradition have different form of meditation. Uh, but when people mention meditation or mindfulness practice, even though it's not how to say, advertised as a Buddhist practice, people just think of a Buddha's image or a monk sitting cross-legged or something like that. So it helps to um, it helps to spread the Dharma. It helps to spread the wisdom and teaching of the Buddha to a wider audience. So which is good. So my the point I'm trying to make here is that so mindfulness is not just restricted or not just limited to being in the present moment alone. If you think mindfulness means just to be in the present moment alone, then you are wrong. Otherwise, to teach mindfulness as a part of to be in the present moment, be here right now kind of practice, there is nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Oh yeah. So uh, so it's more than just being aware of what's happening around you in the present moment, in the sense that so when we look at the body, yeah, what we see right now, this is my body. Mm. So my eyes, my ears, so everything, I see that. But then the reason I'm telling you that it's not just to focus on the present moment is that mm, so then you also reflect on how your ear, eyes, and basically your body, physical appearance, yeah, has it been like this uh, ever since you were born? So there has been a lot of changes. Mm. There has been a lot of changes, physically, a lot of changes, appearance-wise, aesthetic-wise, a lot of changes. And then not just aesthetic-wise, but essentially internal. Mm, when you get sick, mm, you have to you have to have to take a different medicine or maybe some operations or so many things has to be done for your body to function properly. Mm. So when you reflect on that, you reflect on past experiences or the past history of the body, of the physical appearance as well. I'm sorry, not physical appearance as well as the physical essences, not just the aesthetics, but also internally. So many things have changed. For example, when you are born, you may be just mm, uh, just a tiny lump of flesh. Mm. Now you have grown into a full-grown adult. Mm. So look, when you look at all these things, there has been a significant change in your body, and then your mannerism, your body mannerism has changed. Then when you reflect, when you are smaller, younger, you are more flexible, more agile, athletic. Then as you get older, you have more pain here and there. So all these things is part of the body. This is part of the evolution of the body. Not evolution as a human race, but evolution of yourself as an individual. So all these things are to be reflected upon while doing the meditation, the mindfulness practice on the body. So mindfulness of the body is what we are going to talk in great detail today. So I will not. We will read through the verses and then reflect on them later. So I'm just very briefly cover mindfulness of the feeling, mind, and the phenomena. Okay. So mindfulness of the feeling or mindfulness of emotion. Yeah. So emotions are uh, uh, mainly three emotion. There is the joyful emotion and non-joyful or painful emotion, joyful emotion, and neutral emotion. There are three of them. Uh, so either it's joyful, nice, good, you like it, or something unpleasant, not nice, bad, mm, depressing, sad, or something neutral. You have it's an emotion that doesn't lift you, or basically you are indifferent. So there are three types of emotion. Uh, and whether we are sitting, walking, talking, eating, sleeping, whatever we may be doing physically, whatever we may be doing physically, in whichever place or location we may be, our emotions are always evolving, always keep the our emotions keep evolving from the pleasant to the neutral to the unpleasant, then from unpleasant to the pleasant, then to neutral, but not necessarily in that chronological order, not in that rightful order, but it's just so many random emotions just keep popping up. So therefore, to be aware, mindfulness of the emotion is to be aware of what your emotions, not only to catch each of the emotions at its on its activities, while to catch each emotion while they're active. Not only that, not only to catch each emotion when they're active, but to study each of those emotions when they are not around, when they have not surfaced yet. Because in order to for law enforcement officer, policeman, to catch a criminal, to catch someone guilty, they have to first identify the criminal. Have to have a picture or some sort of identification, what clothes they're wearing, how they look, this and that. Then they will go and find the criminal, the guilty. Similarly, the emotions are to be caught. The pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral emotions are to be caught or to be identified. In order to do that, you need to be familiar with what you are looking for. If you do not know what you are looking for, how are you going to catch someone? How are you going to identify someone? So if I tell you to catch someone if I tell you to catch a boy in a group of hundreds of people, you don't know which boy to catch. There are many, there are hundreds of people there, and then tens, dozens of boys. Uh, but then if I tell you, oh, it's a boy with a short hair and looking a little bit plump and wearing a spectacle and a red T-shirt with a Mickey Mouse design, this and that, then it's become easier to identify. So like that, to identify both pleasant and unpleasant emotions, we need to be familiar with that. So the so Mm, so we need to not only catch the emotions at its peak or when they are active and around, basically at the right moment, at the present moment, But even when they are not surface yet, we need to identify, we need to learn about them, to be familiar with them, so that when those emotions arise, we can catch them at that moment. So that is to be, you need to familiar with the emotion first, different type of emotion, and then then we identify them when they how to say, when they surface. And then of course, then the idea is to eliminate the negative emotion or the unpleasant afflictive emotions, and then to develop the more pleasant emotions. Yeah. So the emotions are like the fruit or the result. The emotions does not come by itself. The emotions are the result of some of the positive or negative actions that you have committed. So basically, we come back to square one. The body, the body itself does, as we talk about, we will talk about the body later, anyways. So the body does physically. So body is synonymous with physical here. Okay, so physically you do something good or bad, and because of that you have bad and good emotions. Yeah, and as I said, even though you may be just sitting and doing no harm, you still may have negative emotions. Like just by sitting down and doing nothing, you still feel depressed, and you still feel very, how to say, demotivated, and so many different unpleasant emotions do pop up, and all these are result of negative physical action as well as negative mental engagements. So which brings us to mental engagement, or the mind, mindfulness of the mind. That is the third one, mindfulness of the mind. The mindfulness of the mind, or any mental activity. So the difference between, even though emotions also occur within the mind, right? Emotions occur within the mind. So the difference between the mindfulness of the emotion and mindfulness of the mind is that mind, the mindfulness of mental engagement. The difference here is that the emotions are the result, as I said earlier. Yeah. So the result, when they come, uh, the result itself, there is actually nothing much you can do. Uh, like I mean, of course there are ways to distract the emotion and this and that, but in general, when the emotions are come, the emotions are the result. So the result uh, cannot be, how to say, um, when you have accumulated all the causes, the fruit or the result, the effect is bound to come. There is nothing much you can do. Uh, so what you can tweak, if you do not want the bad result, the negative result, then what you have to do is to cultivate a proper cause. Proper cause will bring proper result. If you accumulate or cultivate pleasant causes, or in other words, positive causes, positive mental causes and positive physical causes. In other words, physically and mentally, you do good things, then the result, which is the emotion, will also be good. Good emotions, or pleasant emotion, joyful emotion will rise within you. So emotion is when we say, oh, I'm so happy today. I'm so unhappy today. I'm so down today. I'm so bored today. So these are the emotions, not the thought. Even though it does occur as a form of thought in your mind, these are what we refer to as the emotion. I'm happy, I'm unhappy. So what we regard as feelings, this is the result. But these, I'm happy. Why you are happy? Because of some reason there. Yeah, physically some reason there, or mentally some reason there. Maybe you have a great idea. Maybe you are feeling better today. Your body is functioning well. Uh, so many other things, so many different reasons. That's why you are feeling good today. Your emotion is good. Happy emotion is there. So it's a result. The result cannot be changed at the resultant stage. it can only be tweaked or changed in the causal state. So therefore, having a positive, that's why we usually say having a positive mindset is very important. Yeah, if you have a positive mindset, then your actions will also follow. The physical actions will also follow in a positive manner, and that will also result in your emotions to be pleasant and happy as well. So this emotion comes from mental engagement and mental and physical engagement. Physical engagement is what we call the body. Mental engagement is what we call the mind. And these two are not just mental engagement, even though we call it mental, happens in the mind, but it's not just a mental, how to say, um, mm, when we say mental engagement, we're not referring to something just imaginary, just a mental fictional things. When we engage something mentally, we're engaging with the real world, the world, what you can say the outside world, or the whatever you may call it. So the mental engagement is we have um, our ideas, our attitude, our viewpoints on different things in life, whether it's the landscape or a structure or an idea, whether it's a person, so many things. You have a mental engagement with that. It's based on a it's based on a real figure external in the external world, something out there. So for example, when you have a bad negative thought about someone, a person, let's call him your enemy. So that person is there for real. Your idea of that person as a bad person, okay? Let's say there is a Mr. A. So Mr. A is there for real. He's there. But then Mr. A is a good person or a bad person. That is entirely up to your own mental. Um, it's made from it comes from your experiences, your engagement, mental engagement and physical engagement with that person. So for you, Mr. A is a good person. For your wife, Mr. A is a bad person. And for your children, Mr. A is a neutral person. So it changes uh, like that. So my point here is that so we are now covering number 4, which is the mindfulness of the phenomena. So within phenomena, there are 2 types of phenomena. What we refer to as uh, phenomena is something that is real, that is out there. That is out there not only mean outside of the mind, but out there means something something that is not just a mental imagination, but it's something really there. That is what I meant by out there. So phenomena, there are 2 kinds. Usually we call it the conventional phenomena, right? And the ultimate phenomena, or in other words, we call it the 2 truths too, conventional truth and ultimate truth. So a person is there. So we use the example of Mr. A. So Mr. A is there, but the Mr. A is a good person to you, bad person to your wife, and then neutral to your children, right? So one person cannot be 3 at the same time. But according to each different perspective, on my perspective, Mr. A is a good person. To my wife is a bad person. To my children is neutral. So from a different perspective, different perspectives, Mr. A can be both good, bad, and neutral. But in reality, he can be only one. Cannot be good, bad, and neutral at the same time, because good and bad are 2 different things. So therefore, there has to be a real person out there. So that is the conventional truth or conventional reality. Mr. A is there. That is real. Okay. Now, Mr. A is a good person or bad person. That is relative or Mr. So think of Mr. A being there as a ultimate truth. Okay, for this case, he's real. He's there. But then the Mr. A is a good person or a bad person or neutral person is relative. It's dependent on your engagement, your engagement, physical and mental engagement with that person. So therefore, it's relative truth. So the point here with the phenomena, the mindfulness on the phenomena is, so we are just using the example of Mr. A, but then you can use the same with your different emotions within yourself and so many, everything in the world. You can use the same example, same method to analyze whether it's good, bad, this and that. So something is there, but whether that is a good or bad, real or not real, that is entirely dependent on how you look at it and how your experiences with that thing is. So that is a relative truth. So there is the ultimate truth and the relative truth. And to reflect on the relative and the ultimate truth of a phenomena is to reflect on, is to be mindful, is to practice mindfulness of the phenomena. The two phenomena, yeah, the conventional truth and the conventionally existent and ultimately existent. There and truly there. So basically, when you when you judge a person, whether it's a good person, bad person, you judge someone as a person by nature is neither good, bad, or neutral. I mean, they're just neutral in general. Has some good habit and some bad habit and some neutral habit. So a person is made up of all good, bad, and neutral things, right? Nobody is 100% negative. So people say sometimes, oh, that person, right? Some of the historical, very negative person, right? Someone who do a lot of killing and this and that. They say, okay, well, that person is 100% evil. No, that person is not 100% evil. Nobody is 100% evil. When they're sleeping, they're not evil. When they're eating food, they're not evil. When they're doing business in the toilet, they're not evil. Okay, when they are evil when they are um, doing something negative to harm people, this and that. So anyway, so nobody is 100% evil or 100% positive, except you become a Buddha. That's a different matter. So my point here is that when you have a judgment, when you pass a judgment to a person, this comes from your own experiences and engagement with the person, physical engagement and mental engagement with that person. It comes from that thing. So, but the person is there for real. Mr. A is there for real. And the person is there, is real, but it's not as real as you think. Whatever judgment you are passing on, maybe some of them are true, some of them do not stick. So it is there, it's true, but it's not as true as you think it is. So it is there, but it is not there as you think it is there. So that distinguishes the conventional truth from the ultimate truth. It is there, but it's not there as you think it is. For example, if you, because you are all watching my talk, my Dharma talk, so you see there is a Buddha statue behind me. So it is there, but it's not there as you think it is there because it's a virtual virtual background. So when you look at the picture, what you see is myself and the picture of the Buddha behind me. So it is there. But if you think it's really there, it's not there because it's just a how to say, AI manufactured. What do you call that? Yeah, it's made from it's machine made. It's not real. It's there, but it's not really there, right? And this is with everything in the world. Also, when you see me speaking to you right now, you think I am there wherever you're looking at the screen. But I'm not in the screen. I'm in a totally different place. I'm not in front of your screen, but I appear in front of your screen, just as the Buddha is appearing right behind me. It is there, but it's not truly there. So being there, but not being there as you think it is, that is the distinction between conventional truth and ultimate truth. And the last mindfulness of the phenomena is to reflect on the two truths, basically, and most importantly, the ultimate truth, the reality which is there, but it's not there as you think it is there. So this is something true incident happened not just happened but happened many times. So when we have large gatherings, like Kala Chakra teachings by His Holiness. Then about 100,000, sometimes 200,000 people gather in Bodh Gaya. Yeah, and then we have to set up a lot of television, the TV screen. I don't know what they call it, the jumbotron, big TV because so many people there. So the big TVs are there to see, so that people can have all the people there can have a good view of His Holiness. So when His Holiness arrives, His Holiness, a lot of time enters from different gate so that he can meet with the people. So most of the time, lot of time, people are just looking at the jumbotron, the big TV, where His Holiness is coming, and then sometime His Holiness actually come just right in front of you, or we have so many different pathways to distribute the tea, the bread, the textbook, this and that. So we are looking at the TV in front of us, the big TV. While when His Holiness actually comes right beside us or maybe behind us, and we are not aware that the real Dalai Lama is just next to us, and instead of looking at that, we are looking at the TV. And sometimes we turn our back to the real Dalai Lama and then turn our face towards the TV, which is not real. So, because the TV is more, how to say, bright, colorful, and all that. When His Holiness comes, it's, yeah. So we do that a lot. Yeah. So it is real, but it's not real as you think it is. So that is the distinction between conventional truth and ultimate truth. Okay. Okay. Now, I will come to today's topic, which I haven't started yet. Okay. So mindfulness of the body. Let me just read the Tibetan text first. 원주 르도 잠바 대시 this 54, yeah. 원주 르도 잠바 대시 조바 지베 람도 냐와데 테네 dimne ngombar songite 잠바 냠베 추근 지거리 교로스. The English, my Lord, the Buddha taught close mindfulness of body as the single path through tread. Hold fast and guard it well, for all the Dharma is destroyed by loss of mindfulness. Oh. So my Lord here, my Lord is not a reference to the Buddha. My Lord is reference to the king, yeah, my liege, your majesty, yeah, something like that. So respectfully referring to the king, my Lord. The Buddha taught close mindfulness. So yes, Buddha taught close mindfulness of body, as well as three other close mindfulnesses. So the reason it's called close is keeping it close, keeping it handy. So the mindfulness, as I said before, I think it doesn't make that much sense in English when you say close mindfulness, but in Tibetan, as I said before, the word temba refers to mindfulness, recalling, memory, and so many other things. So when you say keep it close memory or close recall, when you say temba nyawar shapa mean basically when you have to put the word close to make it how to say, make it more make it resonate much more with the term mindfulness. But in English, you don't really necessarily need close, because if you are mindful, then you are keeping it handy, keeping it close to you anyways. But in any case, close mindfulness of the body, mind, and the body, mind, emotion, and the phenomena. Therefore, right. So my Lord, the King, referring to the king, the Buddha taught close mindfulness of body as the single path to tread. So without the mindfulness of the body and so on and so forth, even though only body is mentioned here, but the Buddha is also referring to the rest of the three mindfulnesses as well. And without the mindfulness practices, then no Dharma will survive. Dharma here means not the Dharma in general, Buddha Dharma in the world. That is not what it's referring to. It is referring to Dharma, your own practice. Here, Dharma means practice. Without mindfulness, your practice will crumble. Your practice will disintegrate without mindfulness. Reflection on the body is highlighted here because for ordinary beings, our body being getting out of control, our body getting out of control because of due to uh, um, uh, our body being out of control is much more common than other things. Of course, body being out of control is due to mind being out of control. So when you have a drunk driver, then the car gets out of control. So the mind, of course, is always there. The mind, if the mind is drunk, meaning the mind is drunk in either the emotion like attachment, greed, and that's anger, so on and so forth. Then under the influence, the mind is under the influence of strong emotions. Then the body is also under the same influence as well, because the mind is the driver of the car known as the body. So for ordinary being, uh, tackling the mind or tackling the emotion is much more difficult. So therefore, what they can tackle, what they can take care of, is the more solid thing, which is the body. So they need to train the body first. They need to train the body. They need to uh, calm, or they need to subdue the bodily um, uh, the body getting out of control. They need to train that. They need to tame that first. So therefore, the Buddha is referring to the king to tame his bodily desire and this and that. And especially as a king, because you are such a powerful person that you can have anything in the land, then there is always a high chance of you manipulating your position. You're manipulating your position and then making people suffer for your physical benefits. So therefore, but that is reference to the king. But in general, ordinary beings can control the body much better than control the mind. But therefore, here, even though there's four types of mindfulness, but mindfulness of the body is highlighted in this particular verse, uh, because this is how we start. For initial practitioner, this is how we start. Now, jump to the next one. Now, next is to reflect on the impermanence of life. Um, so impermanence of life basically means impermanence on the body, right? Life endures, but the body disintegrates after 50 years, 100 years, something like that. So therefore, an impermanence of life, usually when we say end of life, we are referring to end of the body, right? Not, and then when we say life, you're usually talking about this body in particular. Anyway, so reflecting on the impermanence of life or impermanence of this body. 아, 천년의 마블론 기타바 이 추이 추불베자 메다바 메다나 웅우 뿌니기 웅우 뿌니기 로발레 세곰 칼라 테네 원작체. With all its many risks, the life endures, no more than wind-blown bubbles in a stream. How marvelous to breathe in and breathe out again, to fall asleep and then awake refreshed. Yeah. So when you look at your life, our lives, um, this is to reflect on the life that we were uh, given. Yeah, we were bestowed with, not by some higher power from some supernatural power give us our life. Of course, it's our own life, our karma, positive or negative karma, bring this life, uh, bring forth this life to us. It is, but even that life which we are enduring or experiencing or living, the life that we are living, is something. If you look at our life, so it's like 50-50, right? There's so many positive things in life that you can cherish, being with your family, being with your loved ones, friends, this and that. So enjoying life, having good food, good clothes, house, this and that, as well as so many threats to life. When you are walking, the danger of someone stealing your wallet. Then when you are driving, you may end up in a car crash or a plane crash and so many other things. Even if you are just sitting at home, there's still
the how to say different types of what do you call that, pandemics and disease, illnesses spreading in the air. Even the quality of the air that we uh, consume or breathe in is not uh, healthy. For a large population of the world. The water that we drink, we have to, in many part of the world, people cannot drink the tap water, right? The water from the tap cannot. They have to filter the water out. Uh, and then in large number, in millions, hundreds of millions of people uh, do not have access to clean water. We're not talking about drinking water, but I'm just talking about in general a water that is not murky or muddy, this and that. So in any case, and then all the foods that we eat comes from the majority of the food that we eat comes from a supermarket. It's a packaged food, yeah. And then because of plastic, the garbage that we throw in the ocean and so many other things, there is microplastic in all the foods. So even we think we are safe, we just stay home and have good food and drink water and doing something, and we think we are actually living a good life. Even those time, our life is also even when we think we are living our life is being threatened at that very moment by consuming plastic, by consuming unhygienic water, unhygienic air, unclean air, and so many other things like that. Even when we think we are doing nothing, I'm sorry, even when we think we are far from any type of danger, just by breathing air, just by consuming water, which is considered the safest of all drinks, water, uh, we get we we bring threat to our life. So in one way, life is such a blessing, and at the same time, life is such a fragile thing. So when you have a blessing and it's fragile at the same time, then what you do? You have to cherish it. Cherish. Mm. If it is fragile, but it's not blessing, nothing good about it, then of course it's not worth keeping. But if it's fragile, but at the same time blessing, then what we have to do, we have to cherish it. So this is to be reflected on while we do the meditation on mindfulness of the body. So after this, I will take questions. If you have questions, please send in through. Verse number 56. Luta tewa takam tar jurishin tamar mezan ningbo machibe number jikde nyang para gyurwate sosori gechu chendo kembar zeus. Now verse number 56. This body ends as ash, dry dust or slime, and ultimately turns into shit. No essence left. Consumed, evaporated, rotted down, thus know its nature, which is to disintegrate. So this is very ironical. The one teaching from Shantideva. This is Nagarjuna, right? So something similar was said by Shantideva. So Nagarjuna's how to say, analogy is with the dead body. Shantideva mentioned the living body. So he said, "Mizan tsoge chukorti rubar sonde chishikcha." So basically, what that means is this body. This so-called body is nothing but a shit making um, uh, shit making motor. Yeah, like a motor, mechanical thing, mechanical motor, which makes different things, creates a car, manufacture different thing. The full function of this body is to make shit. So if you look at our body, we eat food to we say we eat food to survive, to get, how to say, to get by, live, and this and that, which is true. But at the same time, the majority of the food that we consume turns into waste, turns into shit. So therefore, of course, by having good food, we have a glow on the face, maybe become stronger, fit, and this and that. There are other results too, but the majority of the food that we consume turns into shit. So our whole life, because we take care of the body our whole life. When we say, how are you doing? We usually refer to our body. When we say, "Oh, our body is getting cold, wear some blanket," or my body, you know, my face is not looking well, so I must put on something. My feet is hurting, so I always keep saying that your whole life, what we eat, when we exercise, when we eat food, when we do all this thing, when we sleep, everything is for the body. So now Nagarjuna is saying that, okay, so Shantideva life is all about making shit, and when you die, you turn into shit. So, so Nagarjuna says that your body ends into ash, and then whether you are buried or whether you are burned, then the ash becomes a fertilizer, fruits and trees, which will be eaten by different birds and animals, which will then turn into shit. So you're basically the thing that you, how to say, you cherish so much, your body, your appearance, your physical entity, you love so much, there is nothing but shit when alive and shit when died. Okay, so do we have any questions? Okay. Mm. Okay, now I will go to the next verse and then conclude for.
Yeah.
So that is verse number
Yeah.
56, 7, I think. Yeah. Sadan hlumbo gyazo nima dun barwe sepa lujen dimita tewa yani lubare meguna shindo nyamchomita myochi cells. The ground, Mount Meru, and the oceans too will be consumed by 7 blazing suns. Of things with form, no ashes will be left. No need to speak of puny, frail men. So even not only to mention that we will die after living a few decades, not only that, but at the end of the kalpa, end of this sort of this cyclic universe, because the universe runs on not the world runs on the kalpa, the time. At the end of basically the end of the world will come. And at that time, so the 7 blazing sun is a metaphor. It's a phenomena that is mentioned in the sutras about at the end of the world. So when we talk about end of the world, it does not mean end of the world as in, so from then onwards, there will be no other worlds. It is just end of one cycle of world. Just like one circle of life ends after this. When we die, one circle of life, one package of life is finished, but then you start another life. Similarly, end of the world means end of this cycle of world. So 7 blazing sun is a reference in the past. There are references to right now there's only one sun, but then there will be 7 suns will be which will be blazing hot, which will burn us all down, and then the world will end. So it has some connotation to us. I mean, some relevance to today's how to say the scientific explanation to you know basically the planet is getting hotter and hotter, and then after a few billion years, then even though it's not going to be 7 suns, but the heat of the sun will of course be much more than 7 heat, so seven suns. So in the past, if you tell someone that in the past and in ancient time, if you have to tell someone that the sun is going to be 7 times much more hotter or 100 times much more hotter, it's a little bit uh, uh, um, incomprehensible for the people of that time. So you instead of saying the sun will be 100 times hotter, if you just tell them there will be 7 blazing suns, because we already have 7 days in a week. So each sun there will be one, each day there will be a additional sun which keep increasing. So if there is 7 suns, one sun is hot enough. So if there is 2 suns, much more hotter, 3 suns, much more hotter, and 7 suns is the hottest because you have only 1 week to live. So that way, it's much more comprehensible to the audience of that time. So in any ways, at the end of the world, not your body will not only disintegrate in this lifetime, but at the end of the world, nothing will remain. Not just the body, but even something as majestic and solid as Mount Meru. So Mount Meru is considered the biggest, largest object, or largest, strongest, hardest object of the universe or of the world, as per the cosmology understood at that era, that time. So anyway, so something as big as a mountain. So mountains will also sway. Mountains will also dry up. Or mountains will turns into ashes, and even ashes will disappear because it's too hot. And the water, the ocean will dry up and evaporate, like that. So there is no chance for a puny, frail man like you and me. So why you are holding on to it? Why attachment? That is the gist of the teaching.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we will conclude here for today. Yeah. Nge wang di nyo do da lama sangye zhugyo nen zho wa chi jiang ma lu ke ye sa la ge ba ra sho chan ju sem jo ren bo je ma ye ba na ma ge yu ru ke ba nyam ba me ba ra yang gong ne gong do pe wa ra sho me en je we de jen jen je se ti me ken be wan boy chan be yan de boy ma de joma ze san we da kan jen ken be so gen so ga ba lo san time be shai blai so one day lo san time be shai blai so one day Dembe Nipon Zembe Benga Shin Naman Do Yu Gen Lan Chang Chu Be Lab San Chu Ye Jam Zu Choge Dengye Zho Den Dan Bar So Wan De.
Thank you, Rinpoche Lao.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Rinpoche Lao.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rinpoche Lao.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Baru.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you,
Thầy xin
Rinpoche.
chào